right, we're going to get to your this big COVID story in just a moment here, but we do have some breaking news that just happened a short time ago. The Durham report was released today. Now, and according to the Gateway Pundit, Special Counsel John Durham released his final report concluding that the FBI had no verified intel, none, when it opened its Crossfire Hurricane investigation into Trump back in 2016. It had nothing, no verified intelligence, according to Just the News. Now, Jake Tapper, of all people, just said moments ago that it does exonerate Donald Trump. Jake Tapper on CNN.
Okay.
And says that this is devastating to the FBI. That's what Jake Tapper just said.
But I'm going to warn you in advance because this is breaking news, happened within the last hour. And already most headlines are saying Trump era special counsel final report criticizes FBI's Russia probe. So you can already see how they're trying to spin this before we even read it, that this special counsel that was hired under the Trump administration to look into the investigation of how the FBI looked into Russiagate, because it was appointed by Trump, what they're telling you in this headline is that it is automatically flawed. That's very meta, right? Because it's like special counsel sees that the investigation was flawed, but it's flawed because it's Trump era. So watch for that spin already, just in the headlines before you even click the story.
That's a great point. Great point. So this was Durham's final report. There will be no arrests, according to the report. The American people were lied to for years that the intel community had been working feverishly to, basically attempt their coup on President Trump. We saw that, of course, a lot in the Twitter files. We saw that with the social media reports that, of course, how they were colluding with social media companies to keep the Hunter Biden laptop story quiet, but also pushing the story about Trump and Russia. They all knew it was a lie, according to this report. They all knew. They had no evidence at all and launched this report. And you have Jake Tapper saying that this is devastating for the FBI. TechnoFog published a Twitter thread on this explaining Durham's findings after the report was released earlier today. According to an FBI CHS, in early 2016, the Clinton campaign was fully aware of and okay with a foreign contribution in violation of federal law. The FBI agent didn't get receipts and asked the source to stay away from the Clinton campaign. The FBI made no effort to investigate the Clinton campaign's acceptance of an illegal campaign contribution that was made by the FBI's own long-term CHS. The Carter Page FISA warrant was submitted under intense pressure from FBI leadership. Wow. The FBI director, James Comey in particular, wanted the Carter Page FISA warrant badly. Comey then goes on. The FBI leadership was so concerned about what its agents were finding about the Steele memos that they ordered no more memos were to be written. Of course, we know the fake Steele dossier and where that came from. And amazing that the FBI assistant director for the counterintelligence, Dina Corsi, at the time, ordered the FBI team not to write any more memoranda or analytical pieces on Donald Trump. Speaking about the FBI leadership.
Now, what I'm looking at here, dated May 15th, is a letter from Merrick Garland to, Dick Durbin, Lindsey Graham, to this congressional committee, saying that he is in receipt of a 360-page unclassified report, and there is a 29-page classified appendix, and that arrangements will be made for review of the classified appendix. And they have submitted the full report to Congress. So these 4 congressional leaders that have received it, Lindsey Graham, Jim Jordan, Gerald Nadler, and Dick Durbin, have all received it as of today. And it was submitted on the 12th of May. We're in May. And so 306 pages is what will be going through.
John Durham also found that the agents in the FBI failed to maintain strict fidelity to the law throughout their investigation.
And again, it's worth noting that this investigation was commissioned by then Attorney General William Barr.
Yeah.
To look into the to serve as a special counsel on these investigations. Go ahead.
Well, and just, how does it start? This starts with the Steele dossier, right? I mean, you go back to the Steele dossier, which was a fabricated Clinton campaign dossier. And where's the outrage? Where's the investigation?
Yes, they absolutely do conclude that the FBI paid Steele to be the primary source, or Steele primary subsource, Igor Danchenko, a total of $220,000 taxpayer dollars.
Yeah.
And proposed future payments of $300,000. Again,
it's just unbelievable. Yeah.
I don't think, as far as I can tell, because on the justice.gov, you can find it yourself, justice.gov/CSO-Durham. You can see that stands for Special Counsel John Durham. You can see the order appointing him and the letter. But I don't see the full report. Do you? It says it will be released this afternoon. So we will continue to report the story as it unfolds.
Any thoughts, guys? Men? David, Philip?
Oh, I'm wrong. It is here. 306 pages. Okay. We got some reading to do.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
I just this whole thing has just been like all over from the beginning. So it's like,
what do you mean by that?
You never know where it's going to
over
the place.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like there's charges for this and then that falls apart. And then there's charges for this and it falls apart. And all this stuff like that keeps happening, it falls apart. And then Biden's caught doing some of the same things and you never hear anything about that. It's like, it's just a big clown show, kabuki theater.
Well, also like these leftist media, scumbags who were pushing this thing. I mean, think about the show after show after show after show that Rachel Maddow did.
Oh,
what? I can't wait for Rachel Maddow to have a show. I don't know when she does shows. I never watch it. But I can't wait for her to do a whole special, 1 hour special about how she duped everyone. She was pushing this bullshit narrative for years and how this completely exonerates him, just like Jake Tapper just said. And how filthy and insidious this entire plot was. I hope she goes full bore with this. Shouldn't she be disgusted by this? Shouldn't all Americans? I don't care what political party. Both political parties are corrupt. Republicans and Democrats are both corrupt parties. And
that's the whole point.
You shouldn't care.
You look at all this stuff is coming on Trump, but we've seen legitimate crimes committed by these people that nothing happens. Nobody says anything. It all gets brushed under the rug. We're just supposed to ignore it. But then this, we're supposed to just focus on.
Right. And the Mueller investigation was split up into 3 teams. There was Team R, which was looking at all things Russia, Team M, which was looking at all things Manafort, and Team 600, which was about a specific, I don't remember exactly. But anyway, Team R did go through the Steele dossier during the Mueller investigation. So some of this was known. And if the FBI did a good job and the Mueller investigation did a good job, they had already known about a lot of this. And so it was not necessary then to do it again. And so a lot of it has been theater to bolster confidence by the American people. And I'm not sure it's having this intended effect, because if this then shows that there were so many holes in the Russia investigation, and already the Mueller report had done that, presumably, what are we to conclude here, having been dragged through the mud of headline after headline about Russian interference? And furthermore, this is really inconvenient timing when we are trying our damnedest, sorry, I said damn, to make an enemy out of Russia.
Yeah.
And exactly. To blame everything that is undesirable on the internet on Russian disinformation.
And we just got word that the FBI is admitting that the report is correct. The FBI is admitting that the Durham report is correct. Holy smokes. So the FBI responded just after its release under an hour ago, acknowledging that the report, which concedes the findings in the Durham report, are accurate. What? and they're saying that the conduct of the that they've already put in corrective actions at the FBI to fix the things that happened to make sure that this doesn't happen again at the FBI.
Which is what? Political prosecutions and investigations, politically motivated.
Yeah. So you literally created politically motivated prosecutions of people, politically motivated going after people to ruin their lives.
And political favors to one party.
Exactly. So we'll look over here.
Then
we'll cover this up.
Influence an election.
We'll cover this up. Yeah, to influence an election. We'll cover this up and hide this and go after this person. Unbelievable. The FBI admitting that, in fact, yes, this is accurate. So there you go. That's your breaking news. The Durham report is out. And as Jake Tapper says, this totally exonerates Donald Trump. And it is...
Russia? Does it exonerate Russia?
I guess it exonerates Russia too by proxy. And the FBI admits that this report is correct. And Jake Tapper says it's devastating to the FBI. Wow. Can't wait for Rachel Maddow's full hour special on how she lied to the American people. Thank you so much for watching this segment here at Redacted. We are live every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, trying to share the stories that the mainstream media will not cover. You should also come over and join our community of Redacted Rebels over at redacted.inc. That's our private locals community where we can share exclusive content that we simply cannot share here on YouTube. Come over and join the rebellion together right now by going to redacted.inc. We'll see you next time.